Okay, well, JJ, thank you for joining me this week. I guess first and foremost, let's get to know you a little bit. Where are you from and where'd you grow up?
Oh, first of all, I would like to thank you and thank God for this opportunity to speak to you and all our viewers. Yeah, I was born in Venezuela, in Maracay, state of Aragua.
Mm-hmm.
A little mixed culture house. My mom was born in Colombia. My dad, my dad's dad was born in Italy, and they lived like 2 blocks from my house. So we used to go there so much and hang out with them, and have that Italian culture mixed with the Colombian culture, and being living in Venezuela and having that culture. So it was great. It was a lot of fun. So I hold that with me all the time.
It's amazing. All those cultures just mixing together at once. But obviously, Venezuela, known for its baseball. It's a baseball heaven, I guess. What was life like in your household? How many siblings did you have?
I have one sister. She's 5 years older than me. She's currently living in Munich, Germany.
Oh, wow.
She's a dentist. So, yeah, my dad tried to play professional baseball.
Yeah.
He grew up. He has 2 older brothers, so he would play several sports with them together, and like basketball, swimming, soccer. That's the same thing I did. My dad couldn't make it to professional baseball, but he helped me so much, and I was able to reach the goal for the both of us.
Yeah. What about your mom? What does your mom do?
She was always a stay-home mom.
Okay.
Great, yeah.
So tell me about school. What type of kid were you in school? Were you always a jock? Were you a bookworm? Were you a class clown? What were you like?
Wow, it's a very great question. I never sat to think what type of student. I was always a great student. Like I always have amazing grades, and like in Venezuela, it's a little different than here. So yeah, you have middle school, which is primaria in Venezuela, and then you have high school, which is el liceo. So high school, you have it between between 11 and 16 years old. So 5 years. I know that here you get out of high school like 18,
Yeah.
17, 18. So the first 2 years I was in high school, I had the best grades of the whole school.
Wow.
So it was pretty cool. They had a little ceremony where they condecorate those guys that will get great grades. So I hold that memory with me. Very, very, very cool moment. But yeah, I was always a great student. And then after those years in high school, I didn't go to school, but I was always doing works. It was not like a presential school type. It was more like I will do works at home. It was more like a home thing. So for those last 3 years, because I was more involved with the baseball academy in Venezuela, because in a very young age, you dedicate your whole life
Yeah.
to the sport, because you become professional at 16. So you gotta be ready very, very young, in a very young age. I know that here you get drafted out of high school, like I said, 17, 18, or college.
Right.
But in Venezuela, you gotta be ready at 16 to play for professional baseball. So it's a little different. Yeah, it's a little bit of my school background.
Well, let's go ahead and talk about that. You were talking about being signed at 16, like so many Venezuelan and Dominican players are. You were first signed by the Blue Jays. Take us through those first couple of summers. Give us like a typical day for someone at the Venezuelan Academy or the Dominican Academy. How do those day-to-day routines work?
Yeah, in the beginning, the very first year I joined the baseball academy, I was also doing school, because the very first year I went to high school, it was the morning classes. The second year I went to high school, it was the evening classes for me to be able to go to practice in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So the very first year, it was fun. It was the first year, like getting to know everybody, getting to know their routines and how everything it's done, and then having to get picked up kind of by the end of practice, and then having to shower, eat, get ready for school, go to school, be 6 hours more in school, then come back, do some homework, go to bed, and do that for a year. It was I don't hold anything against it. It was so fun and great. And then after that, like I said, I started working from home, which gave me a lot more time to recover, to just stay at home more with my parents. So after that, it was more baseball focused overall.
When you look back at that time and you look at your coaches, how much of the coaching is being a hard school baseball guy, making you a better player so you can help the major league team one day? And how much is it, I guess, being a parent, knowing that you're dealing with 16, 17, 18-year-old kids who still have to grow up and mature and become men before they become ball players?
Yeah, I agree totally. Yeah, I hold with me so many memories with my coaches when I was in the academy.
Yeah.
Like so many guys. And think about, like, I was an infielder. I was an infielder for my whole life until I was around 15. I made the transition to catcher, and like a month after I became professional. So it was something so fast, and I thank my parents so much for all the attitudes that they taught me, and that, like, I'm just a living human of what they actually are, and that's, I hold that with me so great.
So you're with the Blue Jays and you're in the academy. Sooner or later, they got to move you to the States at some point. First things first, how much of your academia was devoted to learning English and learning American customs and things like that so you could make that change over to the States and play in the U.S.?
Yeah, with the baseball academy, there was no English-based thing. Like, they had something with English, like English class twice a week, but I was currently going to an English course. And I started when I was around 10, and I graduated when I was around 14. It was something very basic, and I can say here now that I was always copying the exams.
Yeah.
I wasn't really a great student in English class because I felt that I was kind of forced to do it. But now that, like, nowadays that we're able to have this conversation in English, I'm very grateful to my parents for always, like, pushing me to be better in English. And it's so important. Like, I can't describe how much impact has made to my career, getting to know both languages and being able to like communicate and create relationships with mixed cultures, because not just Americans that I can talk with, is like Asians, Europeans, that they also know English, so we can create relationships. But yeah, and then I signed as a professional, and I got to go to the U.S. for the first time in September of 2018. And I remember I was hanging out more with the Americans than with the Latin guys, and it was so fun, like getting to know. It was a camp where it was the just draft guys and just signed together, getting to know the process of how everything is made in professional baseball with the organization, and getting to know those guys, so many big leaguers, and remembering how my English used to sound back then. It was so much different. I wasn't afraid to speak.
Yeah.
It was a mess. It was funny. But instead of hearing them laugh, because they weren't doing it to be mean, hearing them laugh and not get offended by it, instead of it, laugh with them, it helped so much.
Wow.
It was amazing.
When you were with the Blue Jays, you were there at a time when they had a pretty good team. That was Jose Batista and that sort of era. Then you wind up going to the Diamondbacks, and that was really a nice run for them as well. What was it like just making that transition from the Toronto system to Arizona, and what were some of the similarities, some of the differences between the two ball clubs?
Well, yeah, I spent those 3 years with the Blue Jays, great years, holding with me, so much respect and gratitude. And I got to, in 2020, I spent the whole year locked in a hotel in Florida.
Yeah.
Just because, like, things happen, declared quarantine, and the airports in Venezuela shut down, so we had to stay. All the Venezuelans guys had to stay in the hotel in Florida. It was a great time for us, like, getting to get so close, hang out every day, basically. It felt like a very long vacation.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it is what it is. So I got to see when we started going to the affiliate, not affiliate, to the complex again to train in 2020 around September. We got to see the whole new complex getting built. It was a huge construction, and then in 21, getting to be in that complex, it was shocking. Like going from that old complex in the Blue Jays to the new one.
Yeah.
It was a huge jump, and there were so many things, like so many rooms. Like you're never tired of finding out new things about that complex. But I didn't get to enjoy it that much because then I got traded to the Diamondbacks. Obviously, that would be the biggest difference, like facility-wise.
Yeah.
But guys were so great. I felt so welcome. Guys were great. The coaching staff was great. They were always awesome. They helped me so much to keep improving in my skills as a baseball player and as a person. And it was, both teams are great. I mean, Angels are great too. Everybody's great in their own way, but yeah, I don't have anything against anybody.
You know, it's funny. I just talked to Bryce a few minutes ago, and I talked about the positive attitude he has, and now I'm talking to you, and you have the same type of emote to you. You're just very, very positive in everything that you say. How has that helped you out on the field, being a catcher, having not just manage a pitcher, but manage the entire game as well? How has your mentality helped you out on the field?
Yeah, it's been improving. Definitely, mentality has been one of the main topics I've been working the past couple of years. And getting to know so many people in such a short period of time, and getting to click with them and getting to work with them at the same time. Like the same happened with me in the WBC.
Yeah.
It was something so fast that I have to connect with people and create that connection, because pitcher and catcher with no connection it's not gonna be as effective. When there's connection, that's why some pitchers they like to ask for certain catches, because that connection is very important. And coaches, managers, they respect that because they know how much impact they make to the game, and they make to execution, they make to mentality, they make to aggressiveness, all those things. So mentality is definitely biggest part of the game. Yeah. So like by far.
Well, you mentioned, I want to go back to you learning the English language and how that's helped with your career. Because you're bilingual and because you're able to communicate with both American and the Latino ball players, what would you tell folks watching this? What is probably the single toughest adjustment for a lot of the Latin players who are coming over here, and how do you help them adjust?
Oh, I mean, I'm always available to help with any type of translation they need. Even though this is a level where most of the guys, almost everybody knows how to communicate in English, there are always very few guys that still need a little more. And just being present, just being there for them to know that they can count on you for, like, go talk to a teammate or go to talk to a coach, or whenever there's a mound visit, talk together and try to be transparent with each other. It's very important. And yeah,
sure.
Pretty much.
No, I got you. Talking about now your time here with the Angels, obviously. Well, tell you what, before we talk about the Angels, before we even get to that part, you were mentioning your time in the WBC, playing for Team Italy. Let me start with this. You're playing for Team Italy. Have you ever been to Italy?
I have.
You have? When?
Yes. The first time it was in 2013. It was a family trip.
Okay.
We went to Rome, and then we visit my grandpa's hometown, which is Isola dei Liri in Lazio, Rome. And that is like 2 hours from the city.
Okay.
Beautiful city. Beautiful. There is a famous cascade. Beautiful. And then we took a trip. I mean, the same trip. We went to Paris and then Madrid, and then we went back home. Malaga. But that was in 2013. Then I went 2023, and it was very brief because I played with Team Italy for the European Classic. But I just stepped into Italy just to get my physicals, and then go to Czech Republic to play. But then last year, I got to go with my fiance. We went to Rome, where we visited so many beautiful churches. It was Jubilee year. We went to all the holy doors. We went to do all these things in Rome. It was great. We got to see the Pope so close, and then we went to Munich, where I visited my sister. I proposed to my fiance. Then we went to Barcelona, where I visited my grandparents and my uncle. And then we went back home. But yeah, I've been there a couple times.
Well, I asked because I had Nadja Victor on earlier, and he pitched for Great Britain, and I asked him, "You ever been there?" He said, "Nope." But it had to have been a great experience, not just being able to travel, but also just to face some of the best in the world. How did you feel about how you performed this last World Baseball Classic?
I'm very proud, man. I'm very proud. From not being in the original roster, I remember watching it live in MLB Network when they were releasing all the rosters, and when Italy comes in and my name is not in the roster, like it was a little sad. Like, it was a little sad moment because it's a big part of me. Like, something that got me to love this game was the WBC, watching Italy play and Francisco Cervelli playing for them, and getting to know that Cervelli was going to be the manager, and it was a little sad. And then a couple weeks pass, and I just get a phone call that they needed a catcher. They needed a backup catcher. So I was like, I'm in. 2 days later, I joined the team. And we go to Houston. We play Brazil. Then we play Great Britain, where it was my first game. Got to play against Harry Ford, Christian Robinson, guys I played with and against. Victor, he didn't pitch, but he was there. And Chisholm, it was pretty cool. Getting to win that game, getting to experience like the first taste of that type of scenario. And then we faced United States, half game through. The catcher gets hurt.
Right.
Pulls his hamstring. Very unfortunate. I knew I was in. It was a little, I freaked out a little bit. I was like, oh my goodness, I'm in the game. I dropped my hat, I get my helmet, go to second base, and I was very lucky and thankful that they were going to change the pitcher. So there was a pitching change. I had more time to get ready, more time to be out there and get a little look to what it was happening. We were winning 5-0 in the fifth. In the sixth, top of the sixth, and then we scored 3 more runs.
Right.
And I come in the game, like, catch with 8-run lead. Just needed 12 outs. I need 12 outs and just get out of here. And it was great. They scored 6.
Yeah.
It was a little scary at the end. I mean, the tying run was in the plate when it was Aaron Judge.
Yeah.
And to strike him out to win the game. It was a lot of emotions. That first game against a team like that and being present, it was something crazy. Even in the broadcast, you can hear my scream at the end, like, let's go. It was a release of a lot of tension. Obviously, we're so pressured. In the moment, we don't feel pressure, but we are. Like, we literally are, even though we don't feel it in the moment. And then after that, I knew that I was going to be in charge for the next couple of games. We play Mexico. Obviously, there were 3 scenarios. We advance,
right.
We win, we advance, and the United States advance. We lose by less than 5, and Mexico and Italy advances, and the United States does not advance.
Yeah.
Or Mexico beat us for more than 5, and Mexico and the United States advances. We end up beating Mexico 9-1, and I'm very glad the game was always with that much run difference, and it was pretty chill, and we had the dominance from the beginning. Pitching was great. Amazing game. Yeah, that much run difference, and it was great. We got to win that game and getting to know that we were qualifying, going into the quarterfinals, and then we were expecting who we're going to play against. And there was something a little tricky that happened because since United States qualified second, he was going to be in the same bracket as Japan. So there was a manipulation there where they sent them to the other side, so Japan and the United States were in the same bracket. and we end up in that bracket where United States was supposed to be. So at the end of the day, either of them won the World Baseball Classic, but then facing Puerto Rico, facing Lugo, and that was an intense game. Getting to actually produce in a really good way, 3 RBIs, good catching, and like still a lot of emotions. Very close game. Getting to fly to Miami, and then facing Venezuela, which is my hometown, something crazy. That same day of the game, I went down to the beach with my fiance, and Cervelli came in with his wife, and we started talking about life. And at the end, I really wanted to talk about like what was for him, because he faced Venezuela like 4 times in World Baseball Classics. And I needed to ask him, like, hey, dude, like, how do you do it? Like, how is it emotionally, mentally facing Venezuela? Because your chest says Italy, but you're facing Venezuela. So he told me that obviously it's going to be hard, especially hearing both anthems, Italy and Venezuela anthem, because you love both. And then right after that, you need to have a switch where you need to represent whatever jersey you're wearing, represent whatever you're playing for or playing with. Not just you, but your teammates, your family, the whole community and culture that you're representing. And it meant a lot. A lot of things that he said. It was very important for me to execute it in that same day against Venezuela. And yeah, it was very true. When I heard both anthems, it was like, wow. The scenario is absolutely crazy. It's God-given. It's something that we cannot control. I'll be like, no, I'll play with Italy and I'll qualify to the semifinals and I'll play against Venezuela and yeah, we'll be fine. No, like it's something that we are put there somehow.
Right.
So it was so crazy. And then getting to get that walk, bases loaded, step ahead in the game, then 2-0, and then having that intentional walk, it was a crazy experience. But we ended up losing. They had a little rally, and even though we lost, I felt like a winner. And it is a strange feeling because we lost and we're out of the tournament, but inside I felt like a winner.
Last question before I let you go. One day baseball will come to an end as a player. What do you see yourself doing?
It's a great question. Like, I've been thinking about it, like just randomly. And I've been having obviously 3 passions, which is religion. I love God, and I want to be involved a certain way with whatever holds in that area. Number 2, I think I could be a good scout.
Okay.
Someday I think I could be a really good scout. I can test it out to see if I like it. Number 3, I really like trading stocks. I really like trading stocks, and I enjoy it a lot. I've been learning since 2018, actually, slowly but surely, and investing, all that stuff, financial stuff. So I have a couple. It's just whatever it presents, whatever God wants me to do, basically. So yeah.
Cool, man. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.